just had a conversation about it last night, and it goes back to your conversation of power.
Right.
And being able to understand that you all have a voice if you all come together and then force these mass producers, to hear you and or to support these local farmers, that are right there in our reach. But y'all got to have some power and some conversation to do that. Yeah.
I talk about this. I have an acronym that I use. It's called PAID, right? PAID. Production, aggregation, innovation, and distribution. Those are the 4 core elements to a vibrant food system, right? And so somebody's got to produce the food. That's our farmers. Who's aggregating the food? Who's going around and saying, okay, I see there's 8, 10 farmers out here. I'm going to go pick up all of that stuff, and then I'm going to house it in a warehouse, a cold storage facility, and then I'll slang it for you to the innovator, who's the restaurateur, the chef person, the caterer, the product maker, who's making the barbecue sauce, the spaghetti sauce, the seasoning packs, who's taking these meals and freezing them up and putting them inside of the grocery store space. That's the innovation. And then the distribution is the mom and pop shop, the urban hang suite, the market at 25th, like all of those farmers markets, all those, the delivery services, the DoorDashes, all that type of stuff is distribution. And every part of that model, I see there's opportunities for black people to have control and ownership. And that's the real conversation about systems change. Because if we land on black people and brown people having control of these vital components, these vital systems that are entrepreneurial, they're paying money, people are getting living wages out of it, then we are in control of decisions that are happening in our community.
But then now you're hitting on the competition.
That part. That part.
That's where the rubber hits the road, and
that's the real conversation. Is like, how do we get the liquidity, the capital, in order to build our systems up so that we can compete?
Yeah, systems that are built to keep you at a disadvantage.
Right.
Yeah.
And that goes back to land. Right, because at the core of it, if you don't have land and none of that stuff, you can't develop any of that. Land and property, you can't make any of those type of moves because you're still paying rent to someone who as we know, rent is going up for every restaurateur. Like restaurants have like a 5 to 7 year shelf life, and then the price of their lease is going up, so they can no longer afford to stay inside of those spaces. But what happens when we own the property, in our communities, and are able to develop and incubate those types of businesses in a way that's affordable? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's really what it's all about, is how do we get the land, how do we get the capital in order to control the processes of production, aggregation, innovation, and distribution in our own communities.
So many aspects to food justice.
Yeah.